We are chatting record-breaking year in the NWSL. It is the final weekend in the NWSL regular season, and Kansas City Current have the opportunity to break the record for most goals in a season. Currently, they sit on 54 goals, tied with the 2019 North Carolina Courage. On Sunday, Kansas City travels to Chicago to take on the Red Stars. And this could potentially be added to the long and ever-growing list of records that have been broken this year. I mean, Orlando with 57 points, goalkeepers making clean sheet and save records, youngest players debuting. But I want to know, from Darian Jenkins, we're starting with you, which record broken in 2024 is the most significant?
Well, you guys can probably guess who I'm going to rock with. It is the Temwa Shawinga. 20 goals, 6 assists on the year. In the regular season, I think she's just been incredible. If you'd said at the beginning of the NWSL season that a player from Malawi was going to break Sam Kerr's record with force and score against every single team in a single season, I wouldn't have believed you. But Temwa Shawinga proving all of us that she is that girl. And I think we haven't even seen the best of her. I think, Lisa, your argument when we were talking, the Banda Shawinga argument was that she hasn't scored any goals with her head. We haven't seen her ceiling. We have not seen her ceiling yet. So I think she has so much more to prove, so much more to her game, which is scary to think about because nobody has been able to stop her this year. And I just can't wait to see what she does this weekend. She can still score another goal or 5. And then we have playoffs. And I don't know how any of the teams in the NWSL are going to be able to stop Kansas City when they have a Temwa Shawinga on their team. So for me, especially the representation that she brings to the NWSL, I love that she broke this record this year.
For the record, another record that needs to be put on the books, I love watching Temwa Shawinga, and I just needed an argument against her, so I went with the no-header goals. That's it. That's it. All I'm going to say about the matter.
She's like, don't put this narrative on me.
She's never living it down.
The Leave Lisa campaign starts now on Halloween. I love it. No, I love this segment because there's been just so many records that have been shattered just in this year alone. It's crazy. Temwa Chewinga is like obviously so obviously the clear choice, I think, to go to there, and I'm in 100% agreement. But I'm going to give some love to Orlando Pride because I thought what they put together as a collective this year is incredibly special. And in similar fashion to Chewinga, I don't know if a lot of people out there thought that Orlando was going to finally make that jump to the playoffs, and if they did make that jump to the playoffs, not really go as maybe like Shield winners or shatter these records along the way, but they went ahead and did that. They did just that. Not only did they go out, win the Shield, and do it in an incredible undefeated streak type of fashion with 23 games undefeated this year, but 24 if you go back to that game in 2023. It's incredible. And then a record within a record of 8 consecutive wins this season. It's incredible. I think we have run out of really useful words and framing and phrases to talk about this Orlando Pride team and how special they have been this year. Congrats to them. They should celebrate all the way. When everything is done and dusted, even with the playoffs, this is the best team in the NWSL, Orlando Pride.
Ooh.
I love those.
Sandra.
I'm rocking with the league as a whole. The most NWSL players in the Olympics, 56 NWSL players competed in the 2024 Paris Olympics, more than any other league in the world. 11 of the 12 national team rosters included NWSL players, and it goes with what Darian and Sandra just said. The quality in this league is so high. There's so many good players. I think it's just a testament of how good and deep the league is that record is the case. It's been really, really cool to see the growth of NWSL from like, is this going to be tenable to continued growth and development? So I think that record is my favorite.
That's literally an amazing record, Aaron. So for full disclosure, we had a rundown put together by our producer, Mark, for these. And there was all these records put in here. And I was like, yeah, I want to talk about the Olympians in the NWSL. And then 2 minutes later, Aaron goes in and just puts his name next to it. And I was like, I tried to call dibs on this. And he came 2 minutes later and stole it from me. So I am echoing
That's
that.
what your email was about. I was like, what is happening?
I responded to the email instead of just
I
putting
didn't
my
even see the
name
response.
in.
I just followed the directions. I was like, I'm going to put my name on.
It was hilarious. It's okay. There's so many that we could talk about, but that one shows the representation and the versatility in this league, and it needs to be celebrated. I'm also going to go that route because Kansas City Current set a new NWSL record this year for most different goal scorers on one team. The previous record was 14. Kansas City are at 19 and counting. They have done such a phenomenal job. And I think, honestly, what's most impressive about Kansas City setting this different goal scoring record is that they have the Golden Boot leader on their team in Temwa Chawinga, who has scored 20 goals. But despite that, there is still a balanced and shared scoring at this team because the other 34 goals have been scored by 19 different players. And that's just crazy to me. There are a couple that still haven't scored that, frankly, I think could this weekend before the regular season. A lot of players that Kansas City brought in during the transfer window in the summer, Alana Cook, Haley Mace still hasn't scored. Kayla Sharples still hasn't scored. Claire Hutton, the young player, hasn't scored in the regular season. There are a couple that are surprising they're not on the list. So Kansas City could continue to have that number climb and reach 20, perhaps. I could see that happening. Currently at 19. Kansas City also this year, guys, they sold out every single home game in their first season at CPKC Stadium, becoming the first NWSL team to do that. These records that the group is setting in Kansas City and across the league are so electric. And there's been a lot of goalkeepers that have set records as well. Darian, I'm going to let you give some love here to Anna Morehouse at Orlando Pride and some of the records that she's set.
My girl, Anna. First of all, I've been friends with Anna for 4 or 5 years now, which is insane to say, but her growth since she's come to Orlando has been absolutely incredible. Seeing that she's got so many records, but it's really her mental game to me that's improved so much. I think she's led this team to have that undefeated streak. She's just been absolutely incredible in the back. Her shot stopping ability, clean sheets, 13 right now for Anna Morehouse, when the previous record was just 11, and there's still a game left, and they clinched the Shield. And she, for me, has been the force in the back line that's organized everybody, that her ball playing out of the back has increased to such a level that now she's getting called up to the Lionesses in 2 consecutive camps. She still doesn't have a cap yet, but it's going to come. It's going to come. And Anna, if you listen, I can't wait for my jersey from England. I literally cannot wait. Please, thank you. Send it for next Friday. Thank you. Love you so much.
Yes. What a friendship if you can't ask for a jersey.
Yeah, always the jersey plug. I like it though. And you could get a keeper one, long sleeve, Dave, if you want.
That's what she's sending me. I can't wait.
Maybe. We'll see when the day comes. If you potentially ever get it. Who knows, Anna, if you're going to send it. I love it. There have been so many fun records. I want to give a shout out to the young guns, too, in the NWSL. There were 2 young players that broke records this year, becoming youngest players to debut. That's 14-year-old Gotham midfielder Mac Whittam, and youngest players to early goal in the NWSL, Kansas City midfielder Alex Pfeiffer, 16 years, 3 months, and 9 days. Records broken all over the place. It feels like this season has been the one where the most records have been broken. And guess what, guys? We still get one more regular season weekend, and playoffs are on the line.